born as John William Ferrell. Born on July 16, 1967, he was raised in Irvine, California by his parents Kay Oberman and Lee Ferrell. For the most part, he had a normal childhood, except for the fact he had surgery at age 2 to correct his pyloric stenosis, which is a condition that causes uncontrollable vomiting. Luckily, there were no complications with the surgery, and he was healthy after at age 2. Will, or should I say John, attributes his early success to the area in which he grew up. In this speech, I will address the early life of Will Ferrell, some of the things you didn't know about him, and the path he would have chosen if it weren't for comedy. Do you ever wonder how comedians discover their potential and their ability to make people laugh? Will simply used what was around him to his advantage. He told Orange County Register that the dullness of Irvine contributed to the growth of his humor. Will admitted that growing up in the area, there was no drama, so we had to create it in our heads. My main form of entertainment, cracking my friends up and exploring new ways of being funny, really attracted me. I didn't have the survival instinct like other comics from rough neighborhoods. I had the opposite. For me, I grew up in Mayberry, and the humor broke the boring routine lifestyle there. And trust me, there was a lot to make fun of. The audience for his jokes were also his classmates at Turtle Rock Elementary School and later at University High School, both located in Irvine, California. Will made the daily morning announcements over the loudspeaker system in disguised voices, which attracted him early to impersonations. This is how he became interested in performing, and his talent in impersonating others became apparent to everyone. Instead of spending his adolescence in comedy clubs like most other comedians did, Will worked as a teller at Wells Fargo because he wanted to be an accountant early on in life. Contrary to what many may think, he was not a class clown in high school, but rather a scholar and an athlete. Will played high school football and was the kicker of the varsity team, and still holds the record for the most field goals made in one season. After high school, he studied at the University of Southern California, in the hopes of becoming a sports broadcaster, due to his interest in sports and comfortability speaking in public and over loudspeakers. At USC, Ferrell dedicated much of his time to being a member of Delta Tau Delta fraternity and is still an active alumnus today. He graduated from USC in 1990 with a degree in sports information. While spending his free time as a member of the comedy group called the Grouplings, Will developed his impersonational skills and impersonation skills. During the business days, he interned at NBC Sports, but drew many laughed after he ad-libbed a joke on air during one of his broadcast courses. So now that we know a little about Will Ferrell's younger years, let's find out how he switched to comedy. With his foot in the door already at NBC, and after many coworkers from NBC urged him to pursue comedy, Will finally decided to establish himself on Saturday Night Live. As a cast member of SNL, he called the stage his home from 1995 until 2002. Surprisingly, Will Ferrell was declared the worst cast member of all time in his first year on the show. His immaturity and inexperience caused many to rethink the decision of choosing him over Steve Ferrell in the year of 1995. After people realized his true talents and impersonating abilities, Will quickly became arguably the greatest SNL cast member ever and a fan favorite. Despite his great success on the show, he became a little too comfortable doing impersonations of others. The legendary comedian has admitted to Jay Leno and David Letterman that he is uncomfortable appearing and speaking in public as himself. This causes his live appearances on talk shows to be often awkward if you haven't noticed. His last appearance on SNL on May 18, 2002 concluded his honorable 7-year run and caused for a very memorable farewell episode. He was the only cast member in the history of the show to ever receive a send-off from all of the current cast members at the end of the season finale show. Starring in the TV shows were only one of his notable achievements. The other thing that made him popular were his roles in major motion pictures. Will Ferrell appeared in many movies during his time on Saturday Night Live, but his first starring role came after his departure in Old School as Frank the Tank. New York Times declared, "The movie belongs to Mr. Ferrell. He uses his hilarious and anxious spirit to sell the part completely." Old School was a major success, and Ferrell received an MTV Movie Award nomination for his comedic performance. During the success, he decided to make a career move into full-time movie acting, which we know him best for today. His success was evident after being considered a member of the Brat Pack in good company with Vince Vaughn, Ben Stiller, Steve Carell, and brothers Luke and Owen Wilson, as well as being named an Actor of the Year in 2006 by the magazine for the Year in Review issue. After looking at his life behind the scenes a little bit, I couldn't help but wonder if he was hilarious, and crazy in his normal everyday life. His wife, Vivica Paulin, can attest to this. She's also an actress, and Will met her in 1995 at an acting class. She has repeatedly said that her life is like a sitcom due to Will's constant jokes and good sense of humor. The past few years have been very good to Ferrell, but the only bad spot on his resume was being named the worst celebrity autographer by Autograph magazine in 2006. They said he taunts people asking for his autograph. They'll be like, "How badly do you want my autograph? Are you sure? You say you're my biggest fan, but really, prove it." Things like that, says an editor of Autograph magazine. But it's all in good fun. This proves that Will Ferrell has an awesome sense of humor and continues the joke even off stage after the camera stopped rolling. The future looks promising for this actor, and in the next movie you see Will Ferrell take off his shirt, which shouldn't be too long. I hope you notice the surgical scar on his right upper abdomen and know where that came from, the story behind it, how hard he has worked to get where he is today. I hope you have a newfound appreciation for comedians, and be sure to be prepared if you're going to ask Will Ferrell for his autograph at all costs.